Coach, you may have been involved in the first ever coach trade of any All-Star game ever. Just want to get your thoughts on that in your mind. First for you, Leo.
They announced it?
Yeah.
That you got traded?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to go look at all that.
Traded.
I have no idea what the teams are.
Second time in history now. Jeez, as a player. My son hit me up after he goes, I've created history. This is awesome. I got traded as a coach. But look, I get to coach with Sabrina. I'm on Caitlin Clark's in Indianapolis. I mean, what a great show. So we'll go out there and have some fun.
The WNBA All-Star rosters are officially set, and this live draft, it was absolute chaos in the best way possible. Because what do you mean halfway through they just switched coaches? Not traded players, traded coaches. Caitlin Clark got the first pick. Nafisa Collier got the second. Collier scooped up Aaliyah Boston, then Brianna Stewart, then Sabrina Ionescu, and Alicia Gray. Meanwhile, somewhere off-screen, Stephanie White is probably still staring at a chalkboard wondering, wait, what just happened? The answer? A phenomenon walked in and didn't wait for permission. Caitlin Clark didn't ask. She acted. And the league quickly realized, either get on board or get out of the way. That's why Sabrina's reaction mattered, because it wasn't just funny. It was real. It was honest confusion mixed with awe, as if even she realized the hierarchy just got rewritten in real time. Whether it's with a ridiculous step-back three or a casual rearrangement of the WNBA's coaching assignments, Clark is just built differently. So if anyone's still asking, who runs this league now? Sabrina already answered that question with her jaw dropped, her eyes wide, and her all-star vote unofficially revoked. And just when you thought the circus couldn't get any wilder, enter Stephanie White. Carefully packed baggage, emotional carry-ons in tow. The moment she touched down, it felt less like a coaching change and more like Avengers, Sun Edition, but make it mid. She brought her whole Connecticut cast with her, DeWanna Bonner included, and suddenly, the Indiana fever felt less like a rebuild and more like an awkward relocation experiment. Because, let's be honest, Stephanie White didn't come to Indiana to build around Caitlin Clark. She came to recreate her comfort zone, wrapped in a sun-colored blanket, pretending the fever didn't just draft the most important player in league history. No biggie. Just take a generational talent and park her in the corner like a glorified scarecrow while the 2017 remix runs the show. And the wildest part? She wants us to believe this is some brilliant strategic vision. Please. This is like being handed a brand new Ferrari and choosing to drive it 20 miles per hour in a school zone while bragging about gas mileage. Sure, you can do it, but it's an act of violence. And you can see it on the court. Clark is being coached like a 3-and-D specialist from 2004. Just sit in the corner, kid. Maybe you'll get a kick-out pass. For what? Because Stephanie White doesn't want to relinquish control. She didn't move to Indiana to empower Clark. She moved there to rerun her own greatest hits, complete with post touches and old habits that were mid at best. And Clark, or should we say Dairy Queen for those of us in the know, is out here trying to keep the peace. She's like, look, I'm gonna do you a solid. We all know my coach Loki hates you. So instead of making this all-star weekend miserable, let's just swap coaches. I've got Sandy Brondello on speed dial. She doesn't make me feel like a burden. She lets me cook. It's the most passive-aggressive power play in league history, and it worked. Meanwhile, Reeve, who's now coaching Collier, has already criticized Clark publicly. And Stephanie. She's treating Caitlin like an unruly houseguest who won't stop touching the thermostat. There's no spark, no joy, no partnership, just thinly veiled tension and outdated schemes. And somehow, she still expects Clark to adjust to her style, instead of building the entire system around the most game-changing rookie women's basketball has ever seen. This isn't coaching. It's sabotage with a clipboard. And if you think we're being harsh, just watch one of Stephanie White's press conferences. She doesn't talk about Caitlin Clark like a leader building a dynasty. She talks about her like a problem she's just tolerating. Let's be honest, Stephanie White doesn't sound like a coach leading a generational talent. She sounds like someone forced to write a thank you card to a person she secretly can't stand. No spark. No joy. Just controlled annoyance barely masked as coaching insight. The envy? It's leaking through the microphone. Because this isn't just about basketball. Stephanie White didn't just inherit Caitlin Clark. She inherited a spotlight she never wanted to share. And now, she's stuck sitting through every press conference, watching every reporter ask about Caitlin, first, last, and always, while her beloved, outdated system gets exposed under the brightest lights it's ever seen. This was supposed to be her redemption arc. Instead, she's become the B-plot in a much bigger movie. And then came the All-Star Draft chaos. When Caitlin and Collier didn't just pick players, they traded coaches. Like it was My GM mode on NBA 2K. Caitlin didn't hesitate. She wanted Sandy Brondello. She made it happen. No drama. Just a straight-up coaching swap. The league stood back like, okay, guess we're doing this now. Even the media couldn't believe it.
Alright, so after the teams were chosen, a surprise moment happened. Now, of course, I'm still feeling it because I was two off, man. Two off from picking the entire two teams, but it's all good, man. I'm not tripping. Now, at the end, a trade proposal was capable of happening, right? Now, when I was looking at the rules at the beginning, I was like, dang, they could trade? So that portion of the whole draft happened. And I'm like, dang. Who are they going to trade? I wouldn't trade anybody. And of course, Caitlin came up saying, I'm fine. I wouldn't trade anybody. But we can trade these coaches.
Because this isn't just about basketball. Stephanie White didn't just inherit Caitlin Clark. She inherited a spotlight she never wanted to share. And now, she's stuck sitting through every press conference, watching every reporter ask about Caitlin, first, last, and always, while her beloved, outdated system gets exposed under the brightest lights it's ever seen. This was supposed to be her redemption arc. Instead, she's become the B-plot in a much bigger movie. And then came the All-Star Draft chaos. When Caitlin and Collier didn't just pick players, they traded coaches. Like it was My GM mode on NBA 2K. Caitlin didn't hesitate. She wanted Sandy Brondello. She made it happen. No drama. Just a straight-up coaching swap. The league stood back like, okay, guess we're doing this now. Even the media couldn't believe it. Could see it in her eyes every time someone asked about adjusting to the system. That tight-lipped grin. The polite soundbite. But you know behind that calm exterior, she's screaming internally. Because this isn't what she signed up for. This isn't the freedom she had at Iowa. This isn't pace and space. This is dribble, pass, wait, reset, and maybe get the ball back with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And poor Dewana Bonner, caught in the middle, brought in like a trusted general from the old Connecticut regime, now stuck watching Caitlin Clark drag double teams from 30 feet out, only for the play to be a fadeaway elbow jumper. It's like putting Taylor Swift in the backup singer role because the band already has a sound. Meanwhile, every other coach in the league is watching this slow-motion train wreck like it's primetime entertainment. Some are laughing. Some are livid. Most are confused. It's clunky. It's outdated. And honestly, nobody under 40 even knows how to operate it. And rather than evolve, rather than adapt to the revolution in front of her, Stephanie White is doubling down, like a blackjack addict chasing a losing hand. It's not just ineffective. It's embarrassing, especially when highlight reels show Caitlin Clark launching logo threes, threading impossible passes, and making defenders look foolish, all outside the game plan. And still, somehow, Caitlin Clark was only voted 9th by WNBA Players Among Guards for the All-Star Game. Let that sink in. She received the most fan votes in league history. She's a captain in only her second year. And yet, her peers rank her 9th? That's not an oversight. That's a message. And still, Stephanie White refuses to adjust. Instead, she clings to her clipboard like a security blanket, mumbling buzzwords like process and chemistry like she's leading an HR seminar on mediocrity. But fans aren't buying it. They didn't tune in to watch Caitlin Clark set screens and spot up like a forgotten role player. They tuned in to watch the game bend to her will. They wanted fireworks. Instead, they're getting fire drills every single game. And the wildest part? Stephanie White genuinely thinks this is fine, that the offense is developing, that things are coming together. But the truth? You've got a coach stuck in the past, and a player 10 years ahead of her time, a system designed to slow the game down, and a star built to run at warp speed. It's a mismatch so glaring, it could be seen from space. And yet, White still pretends everything's fine. But it's not. Not even close. And as the season drags on, the whispers are only getting louder. Maybe the problem isn't Caitlin Clark adjusting. Maybe the problem is the system refusing to evolve.